my countdown to Jigsaw continues. Now we're on to the sixth installment into the Saw franchise. So with that all being said, there's gonna be spoilers in this review. If you have not seen the movie, and I assume you have, but in case you didn't, there's gonna be spoilers mentioned in this review. So that is your warning. Now we have a much better movie than Saw 5, in my opinion. Like, the people who are being tested this time around, it's basically of health, people who, who works with the health insurance, and basically, they're basically shitheads. They treat their customers like crap, and that's where, the main guy, William, and this is basically his test, and he's put you to test against everyone that he's worked for, basically, and for him to get to his family, who he has avoided. Like when we see him where he's working, he's like, like where he's talking to someone on the phone, and he's like, "Oh, it's your birthday," but he completely blows them off to continue working, and whatever, it would seem, and it's like, okay, your family's gonna be right there, and you're gonna have to get to them in time, and just learn how to appreciate them. You know how Jigsaw rolls. So anyway, isn't it safe to say that Jigsaw has all this stuff planned out? It's like he's like the Tupac, like of horror icons. I mean, like, he's basically dead now, and then he has all these traps and all these test subjects already all picked out. You get where I'm going with this, where they're all picked out, they're all being tested, and he's like basically dead now. He's, like I said, he's the Tupac of horror icons, and so while that's happening, Hoffman while he got rid of Strom, and then he finds out that his partner Perez actually survived, and now they're trying to piece together where Saw 5 ended, where it looks like Strom was the like the one like behind the killings, like behind helping Jigsaw. Now Perez and Erickson are trying to piece all this together. Like, why would Strom like what would motivate him to do that? And Perez sort of kind of debunks that, him being a suspect, like, it doesn't make sense or whatever. And then Hoffman, like, he's backed up into a corner once again. And then so while that's all happening, a family is there, and you're thinking that it's William's family. You're thinking that is like wife and son or whatever. But it turns out it is actually the family of the man that he, refused to help, or that he just didn't, he just did not help him. That's his wife and son there. And William's actual family is his sister, who we've seen earlier, talking to Hoffman and all that stuff. And so yeah, that's the only family that William has, is his sister, and they're both there. And when William gets through all of his tests, he gets there, and now it's basically the test of that family. Like, will they spare William's life, or will they kill him for his sins? And then, while she was getting ready to do it, while the mother was getting ready to do it, he's like, I'm not doing this out of vengeance. I'm just gonna do this to prevent you from hurting anyone else. And then she can't do it. She just can't do it. And then her son, who is still filled with rage. Well, he's definitely filled with rage by looking into the eyes of the man who could have helped his dad, but he didn't. So that drives him, and then he kills him. And whoa. I had to say that was a pretty damn cool death. As disgusting as it is, it was a pretty damn cool death. And as that, meanwhile with Hoffman, where they figure out that, where Erickson and Perez figured out that Hoffman is the one behind it, where they try to, crack through the voice changer, and then you see that it goes from Jigsaw's voice over to his voice, and then he kills them, and then he tries to basically burn away, the evidence, and then Jill gets a hold of him and puts him in that mouth trap that Amanda was in, and then he puts it on him and then locks him in the room and says game over. And then we're thinking, ooh, are we finally gonna see what happens? I mean, we know what happens, but are we finally gonna see someone die from that trap? And then while that's all happening, I'm like, is Hoffman really gonna die? Is this it? Is this it? But he breaks free from the chair, and then he breaks free from the mouth trap. Only, ooh, I mean, he came this close, but I don't know how he got out of that thing, by putting his head through the little bars at the door, and then got the trap off his head, and then it cut his, his, over his, his cheek a little bit, or he definitely, hurt him over here. But I mean, how he got out of that is beyond me, but no. So I guess we don't really get to see, where we get to see someone actually died in that mousetrap. Not in this movie, at least. But yeah, I mean, this movie had a better story going on than 5, and it had, where it didn't have any surprises there. But here, the surprises are brought back into the franchise here, and you really understand. You're almost rooting for the health insurance people to basically fail, and you're rooting for William to basically, or I don't know about you, but some people were probably rooting for William to basically get the axe, and then he did. I'm sure some people were really satisfied with that, since with health insurance and etc. But anyway, yeah, with that all being said, I'd say this gets 3.5 chair spins out of 5. So here we go. 1, 2, 3.5 chair spins. So yeah, we're on to the final chapter, 3D final chapter, as we count down the Jigsaw. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed my review on this movie, make sure you thumb up the video, make sure you click subscribe if you're a newbie to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in my review for the final chapter, so as we count down the Jigsaw. So until then, peace out, guys.